Here are 5 bands that I want to see release a new album in 2024, or at least put out new music. Let's go. Alright, coming in number 5, we have Three Doors Down. Okay, these guys haven't put out an album since 2016. So, these guys are coming up on a decade since they released any sort of new music. And believe it or not, since their last album release, which was in fact in 2016, they have been touring and all that, which in fact they're actually going to be touring with Creed this summer. So I know they're active and they're doing stuff. But they haven't released any new music or a new album since their last one came out, again, in 2016. And now it's 2024, it's been 8 years since their last release, so nearly almost a decade. So I'm really hoping that these guys possibly make a comeback with some new music, or maybe a new album. And unless we have to wait till 2025, then in this case it'll be 9 years. But let's hope maybe Three Doors Down can do something in terms of new music in 2024. Alright, number 4 we have Killswitch Engage. They're one of my favorite metal bands of all time, as their last album actually came out back in 2019. So these guys are coming up on five whole years since their last released. On their last album, Killswitch Engage actually did a song with Howard Jones, who was their singer at the time, with their current singer Jesse. So, with Killswitch Engage coming up on 5 years since their last release, I actually heard, though, in fact, that these guys are actually possibly going to release a new album in 2024, so I'm fingers crossed that they actually do, because I would love to hear new Killswitch Engage music. So, please, hopefully we get a new Killswitch Engage album in 2024. Alright, number 3, we have Incubus. These guys, actually, haven't released a new album since 2017. So these guys are coming up on 7 years since they last released any sort of new music. Now, since their last release, which was in 2017, they have been touring, all that. In fact, I actually saw them at the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor in Windsor, Ontario, literally last year in August, in 2023. And so I know these guys are active. I know they're doing something. They're doing kind of like what Three Doors Down is doing. They're not really doing anything in terms of new music as of right now, but they are still touring and doing shows, which is good. But hopefully that Incubus can maybe do something about new music, because I'm sure the fans would love to hear new Incubus. Alright, number 2, we have Seether. Now, believe it or not, but the last album that Seether came out with was, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but their last album actually came out in 2020, which I know it wasn't like a really long time ago, but it was still a while ago. Okay? So these guys are coming up on 4 years since their last album release. Yes, I know they released an EP called Wasteland in 2021, but that doesn't count. I mean like a full-length album, which their last one came out in 2020, so almost about 4 years ago. And I think I heard that they actually are going to be in the studio to record some new music. Hopefully it's a new album, because honestly, I would love to hear new Seether. So hopefully these guys put out some new music in 2024. Alright, last but not least, number 1 is one of my favorite bands of all time, Breaking Benjamin. Now, these guys haven't released any new sort of new music since 2018, as their latest album, which is Ember, came out in 2018. So that's like about 6 years ago. So it's been a while since Breaking Benjamin had even released any sort of new music. I'm surprised these guys haven't released a new album in like 2021 or 2022 or 2023. Now it's 2024, and we still don't yet have a new Breaking Benjamin album, as their last one came out in 2018, which was Ember. I know they have a compilation album called Aurora, which came out in 2020, but that doesn't count, okay? It was a compilation album. Their last full-length album came out in 2018. So I'm really hoping that Breaking Benjamin could possibly put out some new music this year, as if they were to put out a new album this year, it would basically be the same time length as they released Dear Agony and Dark Before Dawn. Because Dear Agony came out in 2009, while Dark Before Dawn, the album that came out after that, came out in 2015, which is a 6-year, 6-year gap. That's what I was trying to say. So, if they were to release a new album this year, then Ember and a new album would be a 6-year, it would be a 6-year gap. So, yeah. Now, I think I did hear that they might be going into the studio to record some new music soon, so fingers crossed that it's a new Breaking Benjamin album, or at least a new single. So, yeah. And before I close this off, I know Ricky Benjamin did a song with Starset that came out in 2022. It was called Waiting for the Sky to Change. That's just a single though. So, yeah. Those are my bands. If you guys agree with any of these bands, like if you guys are hoping that, for the same thing, let me know in the comments. And actually, let me know what bands or artists you guys would want to see come out in 2024. Let me know in the comments.